everyone, I'm here with your astrology for the month of August. Just some housekeeping stuff first. I have had a super busy month in July. I've had a lot of things going on. For those of you that know me a little more, you know what's going on. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just I'm dealing with some situations right now. I'm dealing with some things, and so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a step back when it comes to things like social media. I used to post readings every day. I'm taking a step back from all that stuff. So I'm not deleting anything off of social media, although I'm still debating deleting my TikTok because I just find that place so negative. But I'm not going to be posting stuff probably. So I don't know, I might post the odd video here throughout the month of August, but I'm not going to promise anything because I'm just have a lot on my plate right now and I'm dealing with a lot of things. So I thought I would do the August astrology for you all. So at least, even if I don't post anything for the rest of the month, you at least have the astrology. I know some people really love it. So I'm doing that. I'm still doing readings. I am still doing the astrology sale on my Etsy shop. If you want to get an astrology reading, I'm still doing that. I'm still doing readings, so you can check that out. And I'm still going to check in with, my socials as far as if anyone sends me a message or anything. I'm just not going to be as active and posting just because I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff. So I'm not disappeared. I just have to take a step back, and I'm also reassessing things. I'm reassessing what do I want to do with my social media stuff? What do I want to do with my Instagram? What kind of videos do I want to put here on YouTube? So I'm stepping back and reassessing and taking stock of things while I deal with a bunch of other stuff going on in my life. So if you have any thoughts about what kind of videos you like on this channel or what you might like to see, I can't promise anything, but I will definitely listen to your feedback because you guys are awesome and amazing. I'm still also doing stuff on my Patreon, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on this month just because I don't have a lot of bandwidth this month, so I'm focusing on my Patreon. I have my weekly astrology and horoscopes there. We're working on body positivity, loving our bodies, on the coven, and we're also doing candle magic and witch school. So I'm focusing on that, but I'm still going to give you your astrology for the month of August. So anyway, spiel over. Thank you so much for your patience and listening to me and all of that stuff. All right, so we have the month of August here. All right, so August is a bit of a better month than some of the months we've had recently. Definitely, we have some really positive energy here because we're going to have a lot of planets that are in their own signs. So each sign of the zodiac is ruled by a planet, and those planets are pretty happy when they're in those signs. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit, but just know that the energy is sort of smoothing out in August. It may not be the most rapid or expansive type of energy if you're looking to be productive and make changes, but it is very pleasant energy. So August looks like a good month. So let's get started. So the first major thing that we have is on Sunday, August 8th, we have a new moon in Leo at 16 degrees. And it is a new moon that has some kind of exciting energy to it. It is forming a square with Uranus, which can bring some disruptions. So expect the unexpected around this new moon. Expect that, there may be a shakeup of things, but you're also going to be inspired as well. So if you don't resist the changes that are happening and instead you let yourself kind of be inspired and ask yourself what am I learning from this, or what could I do differently, then you're going to harness that energy better than someone who's no, I want to keep things the same and do things the way I've always done them. So watch for that with that new moon. Now, new moons in Leo are always a good time to make intentions, to set goals around creativity, around anything that has to do with romance or children. If you know what your Leo house is in your chart, you can also use that as well to set intentions. But it's great if you have a creative project, if you're looking to get pregnant, if you are working with children, or if you're just looking for a new romance in your life. It's a great time to set some intentions and do some spells in that area. So I've got my Oracle of the Radiant Sun here. Now, if we look at our moon cards, moon in Leo is appreciation. And definitely, this is a great new moon to just appreciate your life, to just look at all the wonderful things that are in it, to appreciate it and bless it, and try to bring in some new stuff that you might appreciate and some fun for that new moon. Now, Wednesday, August 11th, we have Mercury moving into the sign of Virgo. So the sun is in Leo at this time, and he's happy there. That is his home sign. We also have Saturn right now in Aquarius, which is one of the signs he rules, so he's happy. And now we have Mercury moving into Virgo, which is one of the signs he rules, so now Mercury's quite happy. So Mercury's about communication. He also has to do with travel. And he goes from Leo, where he's very dramatic and expressive and talking about things and generous and just like a little bit over effusive as well. Is that a word? You know what I mean? Like a little bit talking too much. Now he's in Virgo. So Mercury in Virgo. So Leo, we have drama, and that is a great word for Mercury in Leo. Definitely dramatic. I have Mercury in Leo. I know all about it. Now we have in Virgo. It says caution here, and I actually wouldn't probably use the word caution with this. I think Mercury in Virgo is very happy there. He's more about discernment. He doesn't spout his mouth off when he's in Virgo, and he's about the details. So when he's in Gemini, the other sign he rules, he's very much about like information gathering and needing to know stuff and talking. And in Virgo, he's more about taking all of the things he's learned and lining them up and saying, what doesn't work for me? What does? Where am I going with this? He's organizing things. He's taking all that information, organizing it into something that's workable. He's a lot more about the details of things. So it's kind of like we get inspired on the new moon, and then Mercury's like, okay, let's think about this some more. Let's work out the details. Let's talk about this. How are we going to do this practically is what he's asking us to do. And then on Monday, August 16th, Venus moves into Libra, which is the sign she is happy in. So Venus has been in Virgo, where she's a little more toned down. She's cleaning out the closet. She's getting rid of things. She's discerning, because that's what Virgo's all about. Venus in Virgo, the key word here is discrimination. And I would say that, I would say discerning more than discrimination, because discrimination is a bit of a negative quality. But in, it's interesting. They have the word indecision for Venus in Libra. Can we get that? It's kind of blasted out there. There, I think it's a little better there. Okay. I would say it's more about balance and harmony, actually. Venus, the other sign she rules is in Taurus. And when she's in Taurus, she wants to be lavish with luxurious things. But when she's in Libra, she's more about working in harmony with others, working together in a partnership. She's trying to find like solutions that work for both parties. She really wants to have beautiful things around her, beautiful art. She wants aesthetically pleasing space. So it's a good time to do some decorating. Great month to do some beauty treatments and things. It's also good for romance and just working in partnerships with others. She's all about making this a harmonious environment. She's also quite musical as well. So it's a good time to, if you're looking at learning an instrument or getting back to it, it's a good time for that as well. So it's this very harmonious type of energy. Thursday, August 19th, Uranus goes retrograde. Now, we don't feel the big planets. When I say big, I mean like the outer planets as much when they go retrograde as the personal planets, which are Mercury, Venus, and Mars. We don't feel it as much unless it hits a point in our chart. And so it's going to be, I think, 14, 15 degrees of Taurus. So if you have planets around there, or around 14, 15 degrees of the fixed signs, which are Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio, you're probably going to feel this a little bit more, this shift, than other people. But people might notice this more in the outside world. Same as if you, just look if you have any planets around 14, 15 degrees of any sign, you'll feel it a little bit more. So Uranus is about inspiration and change and sudden changes and insights, and it can be disruptive or it can be good. But when he goes retrograde, he's asking us, hey, all the changes we made recently, is that what we really want to do? How do we want to deal with that? There may be feeling like progress is stepped back a bit, that some of the changes we made may not be able to move forward as fast as they have. I usually find too around the retrograde time that the energies of that planet tend to pick up a little bit more. So expect that there may be a little bit more unexpected events around August 19th. So just watch for that. Again, just roll with the punches. Don't try to force things to be a certain way. Sunday, August 22nd is very, very active. We have a full moon at 29 degrees of Aquarius. This is the second Aquarius full moon of the year. We had one, I think it was at 2 degrees. It was very early degrees of Aquarius in July, and now we have one at the last degree, 29 degrees of Aquarius here in August. So there's two definitions of what a blue moon is. The first is the second full moon within a calendar month, and that's the one I tend to go with. Some people, though, say it's the second full moon in a sign. So it is sort of unusual. That doesn't often happen. Thus the phrase once in a blue moon, right? But this full moon in Aquarius is actually like quite a pleasant one. And it's one that's asking us to kind of close up like any issues that have kind of been brought up in our Aquarius house may be resolved or come to some kind of conclusion around this time. So look at your chart. If you don't know your chart, Aquarius rules things like friendship, community, how we are in a group, also social media to a certain extent. So anything that has to do with kind of community and friends and social media, if you've been having issues, there is going to be a bit of a conclusion and wrap up around that time. It is a good full moon to do some blessing for your community. It is a good full moon to bless your social media, bless your friendship groups. It's a great full moon as well to send out healing energy in any of these type of situations. So good full moon in that area. Also good for releasing things that just don't work for us anymore, letting that go. The sun that day as well moves into Virgo, as it usually does at this time of year. So this is sort of the end of all those planets kind of being in signs that they love. Not that the others are changing, but just we have Sun, Saturn, Mercury, and Venus in their signs. So that was 4. And now we go down to 3, which is still good. But Sun, in Leo is very exuberant and getting out there. When he changes into Virgo, he's about getting down to work. He's like, okay, summer fun's over if you live in the northern hemisphere, winter fun if you live down under. But he's saying it's time to get back to work. It's time to, get back to school, get back to learning things. It's time to kind of, look at the details, get organized, look at our daily routines. What do we want to change up? What do we want to do differently? But it's about, kind of getting back down to reality in some ways. So Sun in Leo, we're just going to look here, is fortune, and I would agree with that. It's definitely happy and lucky in that sign. And now he's in Virgo, and here we have health. So it is a good time to focus on our routines when it comes to health. Like, as we go towards September, saying, okay, like what do we want to do? What do we want to do for the fall or the spring? What do we want to do differently? What do we want to get organized with our health? All of that. So it's really like a more detailed, practical type of focus and energy. It's also saying there's going to be more focus at that time on your Virgo house. So look at that if you know your birth chart. We also have on that day Mars making a trine with Uranus. Now, I usually don't do all the aspects in a month with the personal planets especially, but Mars and Uranus, when they're together, I sort of notice that because that can sometimes be chaotic. Mars is, it's aggression, it's action, it's desire, it's will. But with Uranus, which is like sort of like chaos, Mars and Uranus, when they come together, can sometimes be a bit disruptive. It's a trine though, which is harmonious, but it's an opportunity at that time with the full moon, with the sun changing sign, and then with that, it's really this opportunity to say, you need to act differently. You need to change something. You need to do something differently. There's something that's ending and something that's beginning around that time. So again, don't resist the changes that are coming. It's better if you roll with it and you take the actions that you need to take as opposed to resisting at this time. Then the last big aspect that we have for the month of August is on Monday, August 30th, we have Mercury going into Libra. So he's changing again out of the sign. He's one of his favorite signs. And it's not that he's unhappy in Libra or anything. And again, this is more about, some people have said like this is like the diplomat sort of energy because he is more about communicating in harmony with others. He can sometimes tell people what they want to hear or be a little passive aggressive. But when it comes to communication, it's more about being in harmony with people, finding that balance, finding that win-win situation. He's not disrupting things with new ideas. Mercury is just saying, hey, when we think about what we want to do, we have to take others into consideration. So Mercury in Libra, and I'm running out of time here, but Mercury in Libra is influence. And definitely we can influence others this month as we go into September with kind words rather than pushing things. So Thank you very much, everyone. And as always, peace and